Oh, we're being recorded right now?
Oh, no, we're going to Zoom. Are we?
It says, yeah, it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
All right, sweet. So,
Yeah.
So anyway, as I was kind of in the middle of saying, well, do you want to just introduce yourself? This is your channel.
As you know, I'm Carol with Remax. I'm here with Paula Ponte. She's out of Florida. Paula, tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
All right, cool. I am Paula Ponte out of Florida. I cover, I'm with eXp Realty, and I cover Central Florida area primarily, anywhere between Orlando and Tampa.
Okay, so if you're looking for anything down there in Florida, I can send you to Paula. She's a great agent.
Yep.
Paula wanted to get together today to discuss the Rona.
Yeah, Corona Rona. I'm going to change my background here. Hold on.
Oh, we're changing backgrounds? Hold on, I have an
Yeah, I want to, just wait, people want to get in touch with me, they'll know exactly. Here we go.
I'm going to go to my...
Carol's going to be on her island there. All right.
You know,
so yeah, I wanted to talk Corona.
Okay.
So
let's talk Rona.
All right. So earlier today, I posted something on Facebook, and I had asked a simple question. What are you going to do right after this quarantine is over and business returns to as normal, proceeds as normal?
Right.
And the first person who commented was negative. Very first comment. All they could focus on was unemployment rates skyrocketing, and businesses, small businesses are going to close down, and there is going to be no normal. And it just kind of saddened my heart that people are living like that. People are living in this fear and anxiety. And it's like, okay, yeah, we have to be careful, but do we have to live like that? And I guess that's kind of where I'm going right now. So what are your thoughts?
I'm going to look something up right now. So, because I think right now the unemployment rate is not too much higher than it was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
who was president then? Oh, just kidding.
Yes, we're not doing politics because that's not a good idea.
I know.
Because I don't like none of these idiots now.
All right, we'll skip that topic.
That whole conversation. No, but I think seriously, I think like in 2014, it was like 6.6%. And I think right now it's like hovering in the 9% somewhere, you know? So it isn't too much higher right now than it's been, you know, in the past. And so, but right now we know what caused it, and we know it's going to end the minute this is over, you know, because the economy's doing better and it's done a long time. So I think we maybe jumped the gun a little bit on the panic.
Yes.
Right.
Well, see, I think it's unfortunate that we had to be panicked in the first place, but I do agree wholeheartedly that we had to probably instill some sense of panic. It's kind of like this. The way I can explain it is, as a parent, right? If your child is 2 years old or 3 years old and goes to run out into the street, you want to panic them, right? You want to give them a sense of, you don't do that or you're going to die.
Right.
Or I mean, you're not going to say that to a 3-year-old, but you get my point. You know, you're going to give them a little pat on the butt. You're going to be very firm. You're going to say, no street, you know, that's almost like what the government had to do with us. They had to like put that panic into us to say, listen, if you are going to be in groups larger than 10, if you're going to go out there and not practice social distancing and not, you know, wash your hands, this is what's going to happen. This virus is going to just blow up, because this is how quickly this virus transmits. And I think that unfortunately, because we have such ignorant people out there that don't want to follow the directions, that we have to now be on this shutdown mode because people can't follow basic directions. Yep. So do I think that we needed to shut down? Yes. Do I think we could have not shut down and been okay if people follow directions? Absolutely. Right. You know, that's basically kind of where I stand.
Right.
So
it's like when you were talking, it made me think of, you know, I'm from Philadelphia, and somebody on my Facebook had shared a video of what it's like right now in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And it's unfortunate because there were cops literally driving down the street with their lights going. And it was like a stream of them over the PA, you know, you have to stand 6 feet apart. Like they're literally relaying the news because everybody was standing outside, and you see people outside, they're like, oh, I don't know, I think somebody got it because they're telling us to stay 6 feet apart from each other. Well, why does it take a cop riding down the street to tell you to stay 6 feet apart for you to listen? Why can't you just do the right thing and be a responsible human being?
Right.
It's like a social contract. Right? We have a responsibility to one another and our children to do the best that we can by one another and the world, so that when we hand it off, we're doing the best that we can. And it's like they're just like walking around with their head in the clouds, like la la la.
Yeah.
I'm showing a house the other day in Wilmington, and there were like crowds of people. It wasn't just one.
Really?
There were literally crowds of people. There were a group of kids standing on the corner. They were probably, I say kids, right? Like I'm old. They, I want to say young adults, late teens, early 20s.
Right.
And I swear to you, they were like partying on the corner. So they're pitching quarters, which, we used to do when I was a kid. I get it, right? They're pitching quarters, they're hanging out, they're high-fiving, they got the radio going. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the adult in me, 6 feet.
Well, listen, you know what? I got one for you. My son, who's 25, I'm in Florida. And if anybody knows, if they're following the news, they know that in Florida, Miami down south is getting hit the hardest, right? We're certainly not where New York is. I feel terrible for those folks, but Miami, they're getting blasted for Florida numbers. My son, who lives in Central Florida, wants to buy a new bike, a motorcycle, right? A dirt bike. What does he do? He drives to Miami to buy a bike, for crying out loud. I mean, come on. So it's like people like him is the reason that our country's on this stay put order. And this is coming from a parent who educates her child and says, listen,
right,
you don't do this. I mean, I taught him, like, you don't go into the street, like you don't do XYZ, but no, he's
right. Nah, he's still doing it.
Yeah, he's still doing it. But my daughter, on the other hand, she's being much more mature about it and taking precautions, and has no desire. She sees her friends hanging out together. She's like, they're stupid.
Okay, so your son went to Miami, right?
Yeah.
It's the end of the world. Was it the best decision? I don't know. I'm not his parent. I'm not going to make that call. Here's what I'm going to ask. Did he take the precautions necessary to keep himself safe when he did that? Was he practicing social distancing? Was he wearing gloves? Because if he was, then what's the big deal with him going to Miami?
Right. So the answer is no, no, and no, because he said, all he'll say is, Mom, it was one guy and all I had to do was hand him money. I didn't get close to him. But did he wear gloves? Absolutely not. Does he practice washing his hands like everywhere he goes? No. So did he have to like stop at a gas station along the right way? Probably. Did he scratch his face at some point? Yeah, because every time now when I'm out in public, that's the most I notice, when I have to scratch my freaking face, right? I'm so conscious of it.
Every time I scratch my face now, I'm like, crap, I got to touch my face.
Yeah, like, it's crazy, but it always happens when I'm outside of my house, because inside my house, I feel like my hands are clean. I'm good. But when I'm outside of my house, I'm like, oh, I got to scratch my face. I never have to scratch my face inside of my house. But you know what? It's not to say that I don't. I probably do it a zillion times, but now I'm just so much more conscious of it.
Right.
And that's the thing. And that's what they're trying to say is people are still choosing not to be conscious of these basic things that, okay, pay attention, guys,
It takes us back to, we have a social contract, and I don't think a lot of people understand that they have everybody's like, oh, me. Well, right. You still have a responsibility to the people around you, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not, it's irrelevant. You have a responsibility to the people around you. And when you don't take that responsibility seriously and you're standing on the corner pitching quarters in the middle of a virus outbreak that they're trying to contain, it really shows a lack of respect. Forget about the lack of respect for yourself. It shows a lack of respect for your community and the people around you.
Absolutely.
Because you're risking everybody. It's like a drunk driver. You're risking everybody around you to drive.
Yes, exactly.
And it's the same level of disrespect to me. So while I feel like we have taken this so far over the edge and that we are way too extreme and that the sky is not falling, I do think that you should take the basic precautions that they're advising, because if you take the basic precautions, the sky's not falling and everything's fine. Because you know me, right? I'm that person. The sky ain't falling, goddamn it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I agree. I do think that unfortunately though, like I said, the government has to treat us like a parent would a 2-year-old. And we should
Right.
be kind of embarrassed by that,
You know
that
what
we have
pisses
to be
me off
treated that way.
during the Rona? How about I went to the grocery store last week and I saw people shopping, and an 8 pack of eggs was over $5.
Oh my gosh.
Every item in my grocery store, in my local grocery store, listen, I grocery shop once a week. Okay. I
Yeah.
know exactly what the prices are because I've been buying the same stuff for years now at the same store. Every single item that I touched, the price was raised. Everything. Meat was a minimum of 50 cents per pound. Okay. A minimum of 50 cents per pound for every little pack of meat that you need to buy.
Wow.
Toilet paper, price was raised. Eggs was ridiculous. Bacon. There wasn't anything on the Lysol section, so I don't know. Thank God I had extra at the house. But like just every little thing that I touched, produce,
Hmm.
the lunch meat.
Hmm.
There like what was on sale was very minimal, because they're charging full price for everything and they raised the price.
Right.
I am so disappointed in my local grocery store. I cannot express to you how their whole philosophy is saving you money. Like that's literally their business philosophy.
Wow.
So for them to raise the price right now just really struck a chord inside me that bothered me. I said, you got to be kidding me.
But now have you compared it to other stores in your area? I mean, is everyone had to raise the prices like that? Because I
I,
kind of wonder if it's like a supply and demand thing. I mean, look at gas prices have gone down. That's
yeah,
because nobody needs gas. It's like we're at like $1.75 a gallon here in Florida, and I want so badly to have to fill up my tank and take advantage, but I'm not driving anywhere. So it's like I'm going like maybe driving like 3 miles, if that, in a week,
right. No, I actually got gas for $1.75 a gallon, like it was 1989. I was like, what the? I
Tell
felt,
me that.
thank God I need gas right now because I was so happy to pay $1.75. That's when you know shit has reached an all-time low in your life.
Oh my God.
And your excitement for the day is that you paid $1.75 a gallon for gas.
But you paid $5 for eggs
But fine.
because they know we need eggs and
Right.
they know we don't need gas.
And they did it right when it's Easter.
And they what?
Easter. Easter is Sunday.
Oh, I know.
Everybody's buying eggs right now. So to raise that eggs to $5, I
Yes.
could not be more disappointed in my
Huge
life.
demand.
And I'll
Do
tell you,
they have a limit where you are? We're only allowed to buy 1 pack.
we get two.
Oh, we get only one.
We get two. So, and here's the thing, like it's to the point now you can see they're stocking back up.
Yeah.
They're stocking back up because they've reduced everybody. You can only buy two, because they were, everybody's like, oh my God, these people are hoarding. I don't know that I necessarily believe that as much as I believe most people in general don't know how much they need to keep in their house to supply 3 full meals a day plus snacks
For the whole entire family.
for a whole entire family.
Because
Because
everybody's home from work.
where we're eating out 1 or 2 meals a day, plus
Mm-hmm.
all of our snacks are being eaten out. So, and we're eating dinner at home sometimes because we're ordering out for dinner. So now you say to Americans, you have to stay home for the next week. You can't leave your house. Everything you need, you got to buy right now. And they're standing there dumbfounded. They have no idea. So I can see where people may have overbought unintentionally, and I can see a large number of people doing that. And I don't see anybody saying that. They're like, "Oh my God, they hoarded it. There's no toilet paper." Or
Okay, but come on, the toilet paper? Did they really need to buy 10 rolls of 12 packs of toilet paper?
no, but here's the thing: you have people who are being told that they're being kept in their house, right? So listen, you have all these different shoppers, and I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but what I am is somebody who walks down the goddamn toilet paper aisle and see all the different types of toilet paper that you can buy, and they always have like those single rolls,
Yeah.
right? So how many people go to the store every week and buy a single roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have these people who normally buy a single roll, who have no freaking idea when the last time they bought a single roll was because their husband bought it on the way home from work and put it in the bathroom. And they're at the grocery store and they now have a family of 4 stuck at home for the next 3 weeks. They have no idea how much toilet paper they need. So now they're looking at the big packs of toilet paper and they're like, well, maybe I should buy one. And then they're like, crap, I don't know, maybe I need 2. I don't know how much toilet paper I need. Not because they're stupid, but because everybody is generally out of the house 80% of the time.
Right.
So they buy up all the toilet paper because the store doesn't stock it because they stock their little single rolls that everybody normally buys. And what ends up happening now the skies fall because we ain't got no goddamn toilet paper.
Yeah.
Did you see that Scott's had to literally issue a public service announcement?
Who?
That we're doing our best. to keep up with the current demand, and we are making it as fast as we can. We're trying to get it back on the shelves. Like, are you serious right now?
Who said this?
Scott's, who makes
Oh, really?
toilet paper? Yep. They
Oh
put
my
out a
God.
public service announcement. Like, we're moving as fast as we can to get this done. And yeah, we're gonna have it back in stores soon.
Wow.
Because I guess so many stores were sold out.
Yeah,
On the
that's
other side of
crazy.
that, if there were people who were saying they're not sold out. The big stores are sold out because that's where everybody ran. But those little stores, those little corner stores, and like the smaller grocery stores, still had plenty of toilet paper because nobody was buying it there.
Wow.
Like, meanwhile, I had toilet paper, so I didn't.
Yeah, you were good because you're a couponer.
I'm a couponer. There's, I'm a
A
couponer.
couponer.
I'm the person who was sitting on her little toilet paper throne, like, and that's why I coupon. Yeah, what's my Purell?
Carol, I think after all this, some things that are going to change, they say life's going to kind of, well, I shouldn't say they say. I definitely say, I know you say as well, life's going to return to a normal, but it's going to be a new kind of normal for
It's a
us,
new
right?
normal. Yep.
A new normal. And one of the new norms is going to be people are going to definitely have a good supply of toilet paper in the house when the time comes.
Yes.
You're going to make sure
Yes.
they never run low on toilet paper. It's going to be like this.
Right.
This could be a thing, I think, for
It's going
people.
to be a thing. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm hoping? I don't know, but I'm hoping that more people return to eating at home with their families.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope this is a good habit builder for spending time with your family over dinner, and that when this is over, people are still like, you know what, we really bonded, great. Let's keep down that road together as a family.
That's right.
People are stuck at home, and so it's bringing that family unit back together.
Absolutely.
Which, let's face it, has really kind of fallen apart over the last 10, 15 years.
It has. I went to the store the other day. I had mentioned to you like how I went to a local Walmart and went to the board game section and the bike section, and the bikes were completely sold out. Like you don't even see that at Christmas time. They were gone. And I was considering buying a new bike just because I wanted one that like an old person bike with the handles, kind of like a cruiser that was up higher, just because of my back and stuff. But I've been going out and riding my bike more, but I have a mountain bike and I felt like, this is kind of uncomfortable. So I wanted to buy a new bike, but I couldn't. They were all sold out. And then I went to the board game section because I wanted to buy a gift for a family, for a closing, to congratulate them. Yeah, and I wanted to include a board game for the kids. So I went to go buy a board game, and they weren't sold out, but they were kind of more on the bare side, I would say, the board game shelves. So I was like, wow, what a great problem to have.
I saw one guy in one neighborhood. What they did was they set up a neighborhood Jenga game. So somebody had a Jenga game and they put it out front of their house, and they have it all set up there. And I guess like they had like chalk they were using on the sidewalk, and they're like, you can score. And like the different neighbors are coming at different times of the day and they're playing Jenga together.
Oh, how cool. That's fun.
Like that's way cool. Like we are seeing a lot of community things taking place now. Did you see the DJs? They have DJs that are rolling up in the front yards. And
that's awesome.
They're having like a block party where everybody's in their own front yard.
Oh man.
They're dancing and they're yelling and they're hanging out with each other. And I thought that was super cool.
That's cool.
And I seen another guy who he said he went live and he's like, just so you know, this is what it looks like when you live in a community. And he went outside of his house and he's like, hey, I need eggs. Anybody got any eggs? And you hear neighbors. Oh, I got eggs. I need AA batteries.
Oh.
And somebody over here is like, oh, I have eggs, but I need sugar. And he's like, I got sugar and batteries. And so he bartered with his neighbors, and they're living like a community, and they're taking care of each other.
That's cool.
Like, wow, it's really bringing it back to the roots now, isn't it?
That is super cool.
That one was my favorite so far.
That's cool.
Hearing him yell and hearing his neighbors yell back, like what they had was pretty cool.
That's good. That's good stuff right there. That gave me goosies. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, even on social media, you see something similar. Florida, we have a little bit more space between us, right? But people are doing that within our little local communities, in social media world.
Right.
just who needs, lunches for kids, who needs this, who needs that. I'll go out, I'll bring you some.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, is really supporting each other right now, and
Mhm.
just seeing what we can do, to help.
Yeah. And I think people like us who are trying not to focus on the negative, that like, oh my God, the world is killing the world, but really are trying to find like the positive aspect of everything that's going on. Like when you look at that positive side, it's pretty darn amazing
Hmm.
what's going on in the world right now.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
there's doom and gloom according to the news, but really there's not. But there are these pockets of communities that are popping up all over the country,
Oh, yeah.
taking care of each other, and that's pretty exciting. Parents are reconnecting with their children.
Yep.
Spouses are reconnecting with one another. They're spending time together. They're building memories and bonds that had been broken and lost over time. So it's kind of cool watching that.
That is cool. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what? Something else, another thought I want to share. Well, slightly off topic, but still talking about coronavirus.
I'm talking off topic. Let's go off topic.
Yeah, not too much off topic, but I am sitting in my house, right? And I'm talking to my daughter and my husband, and I'm like, my daughter actually brings up, Mom, I really wish we had a pool. And prior to this, we never talked about a pool, but like now she's like, I really wish we had a pool.
She's stuck at home. She wants a pool.
Yeah. So now I feel like a lot of people who are stuck at home are going to be reevaluating their home situation, and they may now want to buy like a bigger house or be in a bigger apartment or whatever their case might be, rent a bigger house, buy a bigger house, or maybe they're just going to downsize. I doubt it. I think most people are going to want to upsize. So I think there's going to be more of a demand out there for buyers coming up. Not to turn it into real estate too, but really, I mean, that's what we do. And I think that that's going to be a huge thing. And people relocating from up north. Like I've got family in New York, and one family member already said to me, I got to get out of here, because find me a house in Florida, because I can't deal with it. It's too crowded.
Yeah.
This is just getting bad over here, and they want to get out. So
You
it's
know,
going to be great to be able to help those families and those people
yeah.
that need a change in their life. you
Yeah.
know
And I think you are 100% right, nail on the head. People are stuck in their homes right now, and they're looking around and they're like, this house is too big, too small, too square, too round. Doesn't have
yep.
this, could have that, to this, to that, to the other. Not enough bathrooms, not enough bedrooms, not
Yeah.
enough basement space, not enough man cave space. We need space for a she shed and a he shed. We have a she shed and a he shed, and we don't need any of that shit. I think you're right. I think people are absolutely going to be looking around, and it's going to be interesting to see the changes that people make in terms of their home when this is over.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be exactly that. You're going to see for sale signs popping up all over the place, which is good because we have been operating on a shortage. So you're going to see those for sale signs popping up. So all those displaced buyers are going to finally get a house. And they're going to be looking for, like you said, something bigger, something smaller, something rounder, something square, something with a
Yep.
pool, something without a pool, whatever it is. But yeah, I think that's kind of interesting.
That's going to be our new, and that little meme has, I know, been floating around on social media. So anybody who has any kind of social media knows that, realtors especially are saying, can you picture yourself being quarantined in this house?
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the new norm when we're showing houses, is going to be, okay, if we ever had to be quarantined again, can you see yourself living in this house?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what's crazy is right now, that's a legitimate question.
Yes.
Like we live in a time where one of the legitimate questions that I have to ask my clients is, could you be quarantined in this house?
Yes.
OMG. It's like that's something right out of a history book. I wouldn't have expected it, but it's a cool question because
Absolutely.
everybody living through this right now is asking themselves, are we in the right house? Did we? I really do love our house, but do you know we've had 2 children since we bought this house? Did you realize it had gotten so small? Because nobody spends that much time at home anymore. We're all out, about, and doing. So yeah, that's kind of cool. What else do you think our new normal is going to look like?
Oh man, I think immediately, well, okay, our new norm. You're asking about the new norm.
Yeah, what's our new normal look like to you?
We're going to be cleaner. We're going to have really good hygiene.
Yep.
We're going to be more mindful of washing our hands, touching our face.
Yes.
I think parents, the millennials that have kids, are going to hopefully preach that. Like when I was little, my mom always was like, wash your hands, But I wonder really how many of the millennials with their children are doing that. And so I think this is going to bring a more heightened awareness, and people are going to remember what their parents taught them. And they're going to start now passing that on to their kids.
When I was a kid, my great grandmother, boy, she was a piece of work, that woman. She would literally stand on the other side of the bathroom door. And let me tell you how it was your hide if you came out of that bathroom and you did not wash your hands. She got every single time she was outside that door. And if you came out of that bathroom without washing your hands, she had a stick that she'd whack you over the head with.
Oh my gosh.
Then you forget something and you would turn right back around and go wash your hands. You knew. So washing my hands was ingrained in me as a young child, very deeply ingrained in me. So I think it's interesting that you bring that up because you're right. I don't think parents are teaching their children proper hygiene.
No.
And I don't think parents are teaching their kids a lot of stuff.
No.
Listen, it's like they want to be your BFF.
Listen, you go into the bathroom, right? How many times have I done this? Go into a bathroom, let's say at a movie theater, right? And the parent like goes into one stall, and then you got a freaking like 5-year-old that goes into the other stall. You know, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old isn't like making sure they're not sitting on the toilet seat or taking the precautions they need if they do have to sit on the toilet seat. Who's doing that for them?
How do you know that 5-year-old ain't in there playing in that toilet? Like, what's wrong with it?
Oh my gosh.
Like you're not parenting.
Yeah, exactly. So, but maybe now there'll be a little bit more awareness of that, you know, hopefully.
Which would be good. I mean, it would be good for the kids, you know, because wouldn't it be crazy if we lived in a world that learned that the best thing you can do for your health is good hygiene, and then just through laziness forgot to teach that to a couple generations?
Exactly.
You know, and then they had to relearn it all over again, like it was some new discovery.
Yes. Yes.
It's not like it's not new.
No, it's not. It's always been there. But you know, so there are some silver linings, right?
Definitely.
And into this whole thing, we don't have to like go around feeling so doom and gloom, and life is never going to be the same again. You know, it's you know what? Maybe it's not going to be the same, but that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It's just going to be different, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be great. You know, we're going to get a lot of great life lessons, because how do we always learn? You know, we learn the most from what? Experience.
You gotta learn from doing it.
So that's it, you know. So you go through something like this, like that's powerful. That's you're learning so much.
You know, if you think about what our grandparents and our parents taught us, they taught us things they had learned in life, right? There's valuable lessons that they had learned. And so in our lifetimes, look at the lessons that we've had the privilege of learning. Yeah, some of them came through some horrible circumstances like 9/11.
Yep.
Right. And then we had the fall of 2008. The sky did fall. The financial sky did fall.
Yeah.
And now we have this. And so those are 3 things I can think of right off the top of my head that have happened in the last 25 years or something like that.
Right.
You know, it's just kind of like, yeah, little people, I get to teach them that. Like you do tell everybody around you that you love them before you leave, because you don't know what's going to happen, right? 9/11 taught all of us that. Like you absolutely send your love before you leave your loved ones, you know. And it's like this is like, and don't forget to wash your hands.
Right. Yes. Now you say I love you, and you wash your hands.
Yeah. And don't eat bats.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy.
Eats bats.
What'd you say? Oh, she's cracked. She likes to do this. She cracks herself up.
Who eats bats? Who's the jerk off that was eating a bat? There's no meat on the bat. Why are you eating a bat?
A bat?
They're saying that this coronavirus came from a bat. Somebody was eating a goddamn bat. Why the fuck were you eating, bro? Did you know there's no meat? Like it's this goddamn big. What the fuck? It's like the equivalent of a chicken nugget. What? Yeah. Let's stop eating bats and watch.
No more bats for sure.
Then I cracked myself up because I'm thinking, in my mind, I just keep thinking, like, how much time does it take to kill, skin, and like, you know, harvest the meat from a bat? How long is that? Like, you have to burn more calories than you've actually gotten back from this bat. Like,
Oh my gosh.
is this like the caviar of the flying creatures? Like,
Yeah.
why are you eating bats? And
Oh,
wasting so much time on something because their wings are like off skin. So what is it, like a crispy wing skin? Like, what the hell were you thinking? I don't get it. I don't get it. I said,
oh man.
who the hell does that with a bat?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's lots of theories though on how this whole coronavirus started, but you you ask 10 different people, you probably have at least 15 different answers.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Well,
So what else? What other silver linings, Carol?
I don't know. What do you think? I did see, I've tried to watch the positive stuff. And so I did see a couple things that really made me smile. One was one of the grandparents, was isolated at their house and the family was at a different house. So they got in the car and drove by.
Aw.
Right. And so it was like a couple cars, because every household has a couple cars, and they drove by and they honked the horn. And they're like, love you, grandma, and that one would go. And then the next one would come up, I love you too, grandma. And I was like, and you could see like the grandmother like waving, like, oh, I love you too, like that.
That's sweet.
That's pretty
Yeah.
sweet. I'm like, okay, that's a silver lining, right?
Absolutely.
And then one of the other things that I just really just found super sweet, just like, a little tear to the eye. An older man was visiting his wife in the nursing home, and he can't because of the coronavirus. So he stands outside the window and spends time with her. So they watch like whatever TV program together, and he stands outside and she sits inside, and they, they're right next to each other the entire time. And he waves and smiles at her. And I was like,
Wow.
oh,
That's sweet.
yeah, those are the
Yeah.
silver linings for me. When
Absolutely.
you see like those connections and just people helping people, like I really love that stuff.
Absolutely. No, that is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Well,
think do you think, Carol, like a lot of people are afraid about what's going to happen with the economy and the housing industry, and that we're going to have a repeat of what happened in 2008. And I don't believe that to be true. I don't think there was anything fundamentally wrong with our economy when this all started. So
right.
why would we go back to that situation? In 2008, there was fundamentally just things were wrong with our economy system.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
So I think I agree. I think that if you're concerned now that's going to reoccur, I don't think you quite understood what happened then and what it led to in terms of change.
Mm-hmm.
Because there really were some just core issues,
Yes.
that were at the root of everything that transpired in 2008. And those core issues have been addressed
Yeah.
as a country and within the companies that were providing different services throughout the country. So I think that we're not going to ever go back to where we were in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
I think the economy is going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm a numbers person and I'm looking at stuff and I'm going, okay. So we were at, I think 5 years ago, unemployment was like somewhere between 6 and 7, and now it's somewhere between 9 and 10. It's not that much higher.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, the ripple effect through the economy is going to be okay because we're still going to thrive. I think the difference is going to come in that people aren't going to sink the way they did in 2008. Because what's going on now, the first thing that happened is exactly what we learned from 2008. Everybody had a game plan. You can call credit card companies and say, hey, and they're giving you 3 months with no payments. You could call your mortgage company and they're, giving you a forbearance, which do not take advantage of that forbearance, by the way.
Yes.
You fully understand what that means, because
Yes.
I promise you
Yes.
this, that will put you in more trouble than you can possibly imagine if you don't understand what it entails and what the repayment process is.
I really hope that people understand that, because that's the only scary part is that in 4 months from now,
Yeah.
we're going to, well, let's make it a little bit longer than that. It's going to maybe be a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see some major issues because people couldn't get caught up with their mortgage, and then maybe they will lose their house. So hopefully that message goes out far and wide, people. Like, that's great, that we have some, unless for a fact that you're gonna have some income coming in because of whatever the reason is, I mean, please don't do that. Gosh, you couldn't get into any worse of a situation.
You know, I actually did a webinar with a lender who has a game plan for people. You know, if your credit's pretty good and you're in a situation where the money's kind of tight, maybe you're a two-income family and one of you is essential and one isn't, whatever the case is.
Right.
His exact recommendation is that first call your lender and let them know, what is their plan, but also see about refinancing your house. If you qualify for a refi, he was saying you can roll 2 payments into your refi. Right. And then he said he can also finance your escrow account.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whatever's in your escrow account will come to you. So that's potentially 3 months mortgage right there. So now you don't need a forbearance. You don't have any mortgage payment. You lowered it because you got a better interest rate.
Right. So there's options. There's options.
Yeah, please spend time looking at your options, because right now there's so many things going on. Don't just take advantage of the system. So if you're working, pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Like this is, I don't think people quite understand. Well, I don't want to say people don't understand. I think some people don't care that this is supposed to be the road to wealth for them and security for them and their family. And like they jeopardize that over stupid shit. And then in 6 months, what's going to happen is these people are all going to have to pay this money back. And then they're going to look for a bailout. Oh, well, I didn't understand. Well, what do you mean you didn't understand? You didn't ask any questions? You didn't think to do a little research before you were like, oh, I'm just not going to pay my mortgage. Like, you knew there were going to be repercussions to your decision. You just figured if you did it and cried loud enough later, you'd get a handout. Like, stop being entitled and pay your mortgage.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah. But speaking of people not paying things and handouts and all that, I know like we were talking about silver linings, but one of the downsides of this whole coronavirus junk that I see is unfortunately possibly creating a little bit more of a lazier society in terms of finances, only because of people jumping on the bandwagon of unemployment and taking that the CARES Act, that was passed, and hearing that, oh, we're going to get an extra, so those people who were already not really wanting to work for what they have in life are going to now play onto a little bit more. So I'm not saying that people who didn't have that mindset, all right, I don't think they're going to start to have that mindset, but the people who already had that mindset is just going to get worse. Living off of the government when they already were, it just, that's the part that concerns me.
So I think the one thing that I look at when I think about that is unemployment has been so low recently that it's very apparent who the sponges are, that whatever's left, so I think unemployment before all this hit was at literally an all-time low, like 3% or something like that. Probably in that 3%, you have like 0.002% that actually are trying to find a job and like aren't sucking off the system. Like it's a low amount.
Yeah.
Like that's your bottom of the barrel right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
like you literally are like the leeches of society. Sorry.
The leeches of society.
Like you literally, you are the lazy people that everybody's talking about. It's you.
Not me, you.
Right. And so I think that right now, like we did have a spike in unemployment, but it wasn't because people quit their job and went home and sat down. It's because people were told to go home. And some people had to fight, some people were like, I don't want to go home. And they're like, yeah, we really don't care. The government has now stepped in and mandated that we close. So you have to go home. And so they're being laid off. And here's the flip side of that. They are being laid off, but the companies are being super supportive about the situation. My husband works for one of the unions. He's a regional representative. And so he does deal a lot with the contracts and like in this type of situation when they're laying off the entire factory. And it's really super cool that these companies are stepping up to the plate and they're going, listen, we have to close. We don't have a choice. But they're laying people off in a way that they're going to qualify for unemployment instantaneously. And they are also paying their COBRA.
What?
So
That's
they
awesome.
have medical insurance through this process and they're not stuck and their families aren't stuck.
Wow.
So anybody who works for these companies, I know that we complain a lot about our jobs, right? I think that's part of like it's a rite of passage, right? You get to your boss is the worst, you know, your coworker's a bitch, you know, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when a company steps up in a scenario like this and really has your back and says, listen, we're filing the paperwork because we have to, but we're doing it in a way that you should be able to apply for unemployment and have unemployment like that. And when the COBRA bills come in, it's going to say paid because we're covering that for you until this is over. It wasn't even like, we're going to cover this for you for a month. They're like, no, we're covering this for you until this is over.
Yeah.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome. That is amazing.
That's a lot about the company.
I want to give a shout out to a company.
Oh, I would love a shout out.
You know, major company, not just here in Florida, it's you got them too, but Home Depot.
Really?
Have you heard about what Home Depot is doing for their employees?
I have not.
Home Depot is expanding their paid time off policy to address the needs of their hourly associates, right? Which is huge. So basically all hourly full-time associates are going to receive an additional 80 hours of paid time off.
Wow.
Their part-time hourly associates are going to receive an additional 40 hours of paid time off. They have the option whether to use that now or save it. So this way, if God forbid something happens to them and they get sick, they don't have to feel afraid and they know that they're covered and they've got the time off to take if they need it. And then if they're okay, they can still pitch in and work and help and take it and benefit from it later. And then employees that are 65 years and older, or those who are determined to be at high risk by the CDC, they've added another 80 hours on top of that.
Really?
For their full-time workers, and another 40 hours for their part-time workers that fall into that category. Isn't that huge?
That's huge.
I mean, talk about a company that's really trying to help their employees. Is like, wow, it makes me want to go work for Home Depot. I mean, I'm a realtor, but I'm like, shoot, I wish I worked for Home Depot. What a great company that's there to support their people, you know? So shout out to Home Depot. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
I really is great.
And I'm sure there's other companies, you know, like you said, that are out there offering something for their employees and doing something. So that's why you know, like you always say, I don't think the sky's falling. I think everything's going to be okay. I think there's a lot of silver linings. There's a lot of experience and things to be taught through all this mess. And, you know, I think we're going to get through it. It's you can't live life in fear.
Companies that are doing right by their employees. I'm going to look this up real quick and see what pops up. Let's see. There's what companies should be doing.
Yeah.
What companies dedicated to doing good and hiring. Some employers are doing right amid coronavirus. Let's see what this article has to say. They have Taco Bell.
What's that?
They have a Taco Bell picture. Oh, okay, hold on. They want to allow ads on my page here in order for me to look at this. I hate these, but I'm going to
gosh.
This. It's okay. I'll just never go back into this site again. I've allowed their stupid ads. Okay. So let's see. They have 12 companies, right? Let's see if there's like a list or how do I get to these 12 companies? Okay. So it's just like this long drawn out article and I don't want to waste everybody's time reading it. And it's, yeah, okay. I'm going to switch off out of this one, try and find another one. But now you got me like wondering, like, what other companies are really stepping up?
There are. You know, while you're looking at that here in Florida, there's another company, a supermarket, Publix, who has been really great about just making sure that before you enter the store, there is a clean shopping cart. There's somebody sanitizing and just really making sure everything is clean. And then the Walmart by me has actually on the outside of the store put, also Home Depot has done this as well, tape 6 feet apart so that people on the outside have to wait till a certain number of people are gone from inside the store. Like they're only allowing a certain number of people inside the store to shop at one time, which I think is fantastic, you know? So just basic things like that, you know, awareness is huge. And I think that's really, that's what it comes down to. And I think that if everybody could have just had that awareness right from the beginning, we probably wouldn't be going through all this, and pretty much life could resume as normal, and it could have proceeded forward without having to go through mass hysteria. But unfortunately,
I think human nature, unfortunately, means we were going to have a panic. No matter how
Yeah.
you slice it, we were going to have a panic.
Yeah.
Compound that with the fact that the news tries to use the most dramatic language they
Oh
can
my gosh.
to just really lay it in thick, because I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you what, if you look, I'm going to be that bitch. The flu, in the height of flu season, is in fact an epidemic and a pandemic. Every year we have one.
Hmm.
But the fact that they kind of isolated those words out and sliced them in a way to just kind of fear monger, everybody went in panic mode. They were like, oh my God, it's a pandemic. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. There's no reason for us to act this way. People ran to the grocery stores. They tried to do their shopping like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very,
it is. It's crazy, but I think some fear had to be instilled in us, like I said, just because we can't be responsible. Americans aren't the most responsible, and the numbers kind of show that too.
I never believe fear is the answer. I think, there's different ways to do things, right? You can do
Yeah.
things through education, love, and guidance, and you can do things through fear. I feel
True.
like if we just use a child as an analogy, if you teach a child something through, love and guidance, you have a healthy, thriving adult. If you teach a child something through fear, you have an adult that's most likely going to be a sociopath murderer. So,
True.
the same thing. There's different ways that we can get to that end result,
Yeah.
and it depends on which road we take, what the travel is going to be like. And there's no reason for the travel to be full of fear. There's just not. I've
We,
never subscribed to that way. I think it's over the moon.
fear causes anger.
Exactly.
Fear causes anger. Fear causes anxiety. So you know, when you have that result, how do you respond to the fear and anxiety is really what's, some people, like when you're crossing a railroad track, see your train coming and then they freeze, right?
Right.
Where other people, see their kid underneath the car and then all of a sudden they're like got superhuman powers and can lift up the car. Fear
Yeah.
produces just different things from different people. And it's just a matter of how are you going to respond to that fear and anxiety? How are you going to handle it? Because if
Right.
you don't handle it the right way, you're going to let the fear and anxiety kill you over this darn virus.
Yeah. And I wish everybody could just hear that little bit, right? Like just take a deep breath, you
Yeah.
know, it's all going to be okay, right? Wash your hands, social distance, do the right things. There's no
Yeah.
reason to panic. Like it's going to be
Right.
okay. But unfortunately, what they heard was the news. There's a pandemic. You're going to die.
But you know what, though, Carol? In some regard, I think it's unfortunate because even as no matter how much education that you give people, they're still not listening. And so because of that, it's like, okay, you can teach it all day long, but if people are still not wanting to listen,
Right.
then now we've got to take extreme measures. And so maybe there's to put some seriousness behind it, because maybe without all the fear, instilling the fear and the seriousness, maybe people just won't listen. I mean, it's just society. It's unfortunate, but I'm not saying it's right. I think education would be the way to go for sure, first and foremost, because that's where you're going to learn the most. But some people just aren't listening.
What's the solution for that then? So maybe the problem isn't the pandemic. Maybe the problem is the fact that people don't listen for the most basic things in the social contract of society. So
Yeah.
what's the answer for that? Like, how do we address that?
Educating them on how to handle stress, fear, and anxiety.
But like you said, they don't want to listen. So
Yeah.
now, like, what's that next step? Like, do we say, okay, listen, you guys want to live like that? That's fine. Go live in that town over there. Like, you guys can all just go over there. You can live however you want to live. We're
Yeah.
going to be washing our hands.
Yeah. So, are you talking segregation now, Carol?
Courtesy. Huh?
Are you talking segregation now? The non-listeners on this side, Carol, this reminds me when I was in 5th grade, I had a teacher who said, okay, the good kids are going to sit on this side of the room and the bad kids are going to sit on this side of the room. And Carol, because I talked a lot when I was a kid, I got put on the bad side. Is that what we're going to do in society?
So to my own, I can't even going to say this out loud, but
Oh God.
McLeod,
What'd you say?
Mr. McLeod, my 5th grade teacher.
Oh, you're calling out. We both had 5th grade.
Calling out, Mr. McLeod, if you're watching this, you were so ridiculous. So he was like, I don't know, I was a kid, right? So in my mind, he was 6'8", he was just
yeah.
towering guy, and he had half a thumb. I'll never forget he had half a thumb, and he had his little pointer stick, and he did the same thing. The big kids are going to sit over here, and the bad kids are going to sit over there, except me. I had
Oh
to sit
boy.
in the room all by myself.
You sat where?
In the middle.
Oh,
Smack dab in the middle, all by myself.
wow.
The entire school year. Yeah. Mr. McLeod was not my BFF. I got hit over the head with that pointer more times. I swear, you could ask a question, he'd hit you over the head. I'm like, I was asking a question. He didn't care. Mr. McLeod was crazy. He really was. Oh my God. And he was just a big towering man. When you're a little kid, it was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you're so big.
If he could only see you now, Carol, if he could only see what you've become now in terms of, your success and, he may have put you in the middle, but
Yeah.
he reminds me of like the Dirty Dancing movie. Nobody's going to put baby in the corner.
You know what he did by putting me in the middle is he made me not susceptible to other people's ridiculous thought processes.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to do my own critical thinking. I had to do my own evaluations without anybody else's influences. So really, Mr. McLeod, you did me a favor.
There you go. There you go. He was the reason that you are who you are now.
So you thought you were punishing me when really, as an adult, I can look back and thank you for that.
That's right. That's right.
Silver linings.
More silver linings in life.
Right. So what do you think is going to happen when they lift the ban? Have you seen what's going on in China right now?
I haven't, no.
So they've lifted the ban in China. Fantastic news, right? So they were like 2 months in front of us, so we're not far from it. Yeah. But they're now saying like the minute they lifted that ban, 65,000 people are trying to flee that area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a mass exodus.
Yeah.
We went out.
Well, I think that's going to happen here. That's like I said, with New York, I think everyone's going to want to leave New York and buy a house like here in Florida or somewhere that, didn't get extreme. Like Florida has certain pockets, but they're going to want to relocate. I think first of all, from my perspective, I mean, what's the first thing that I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on vacation. I talked to my husband about it. We're going to rent a beach house somewhere. We are going to bring the dogs and we're going to spend a couple of days at the beach, and I'm going to pick a touristy part of Florida just to kind of give back to some of those, that area that lost some money and some income. And I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to, give back to my own town, or not where I live, but, my own state. Right. And then once we really can travel or feel comfortable, I'm going to go to New York.
Okay.
And I want to go, that's my hometown. And so I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York City, and I want to give back. And just, my daughter was supposed to go to New York City for a school trip, and she didn't get to go. Oh. So yeah, so I want to bring her to New York City. Of course, when the time's right, and I know that I can confidently do so safely. But those are the two things that I want to do. I think that people in general are going to get out there, and they're gonna want to just congregate and go to the beach and just do things together. And it's so great. Summertime is coming. There's gonna be summertime fun activities. Yes. And we have such a great summer to look forward to. And I think that people are gonna really take advantage of that. And I think that because everybody's I think the highways are gonna be busy, the stores, I think people are gonna go shopping. I can't wait to go shopping. I'm like sitting here like, unfortunately snacking a little bit more than I should. And now I gotta buy some new pants. And I can't do that. Yeah. Carol's, I'm having the opposite. It's not good. It's not good here, but it's okay. It's going to get better. I'm going to go and, be a little bit more active. I am riding my bike, but I just need to do a little bit more. My gym, once it opens, I'm going to go back to my gym. People are just gonna,
so much.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. I think people are going to just really, they're going to start doing things again, and it's going to help our economy. I think, I really think so. And then people are going to be out shopping for new houses, like we mentioned earlier, and wanting to do things. And I think that our economy is going to come back stronger.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I really do.
I'm already predicting the craziness. Experts, number one, they're predicting that the housing market, right out of the hemisphere. Because you had all the people who were trying to buy a house before all this happened. And now you have all the people, hemmed up right now, like, oh, it's too big, it's too small, it's too round, it's too square.
Yeah.
So you're going to have all these new listings, all these buyers. It's just going to become a flurry of activity. You
It
and I
is.
are not going to have time to think straight.
No, we're not going to have time to do the Paula and Carol show here.
The Carol show, I like that. Oh my God, that thing. Yeah, it's interesting, when you see how like it's just going to change. I think it's going to be neat to see people's appreciation for the things that they have.
Yes.
You know, like being able to go for a walk with your husband in the park and not have to worry about it. Being able to have, we do date night where we go out to a movie and dinner. Being
Yeah.
able to do that again, it's going to be nice. The first thing I want to do is go get my nails done.
Oh my gosh.
And
Ah,
my hair is like ridiculous
yeah.
at this point. Like I have this going on, right? So I'm trying to get rid of these bangs, and I'm like almost there, right? But
Yeah.
that's right? But I mean, like it's so long. I cannot wait to get rid of this. It's just got to get.
Aw.
So that's like the first thing that I want to do. But
Yeah.
yeah, I want to spend some time with my friends. Like you said, I want to get out. I want to let some steam off. I want to like be like, hey, let's go do happy hour.
Yes.
Let's go do some goddamn happy hour. And I like all my friends are like, yes.
Everybody's can't wait for happy hour. Just, you know what? Anybody who's watching this, if you're going to do something, even if
Right.
it's the smallest thing, just do something that's going to give back to your community and small
Yeah.
businesses,
Yeah.
because they're the ones who have lost the most. And I think that if everybody comes together, we can put them back in business again and just get them going. And I think that's what's going to happen. I really do. I mean, I
I
wholeheartedly
do
believe
feel
that.
bad for those small businesses. They are saying that, I'm on a team. There's 11 of us, and one of them was texting the other day that one of their friends, in the midst of all of this, is going to lose their business. They're going to have to, like, they closed their doors because they were mandated to, but they don't think they're going to be able to reopen them because the cost of running everything with no revenue coming in is too big of a drain. And so he's like, they're going to end up losing their business. And I'm like, that's, it's always sad when you see that, but
Yes.
I guess it's kind of like the evolution process, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
the wheel of how we spin, even though it's sad.
But you know what? I really feel like, not to be like, what does my husband's call me? I can't think of it. Positive Peggy or whatever.
But
Positive. Um, I think that that person or those people who have lost their businesses are going to rejuvenate, and
right,
they're going to get back into it again. Maybe it's not going to be like right this moment, but whether it's 6 months or 12 months from now, and they're going to come back even stronger because
right,
they're going to have, the experience of going through something like this. And then those businesses that are out there that have made it through, oh my gosh, those businesses, they're going to thrive like after this. There's going to be
oh, but
businesses.
what the hell's going on in here?
You have the ghost effect going on. It's the light behind you.
I don't know. It's the light behind me. Is that what
Yeah,
it
it's
is?
the light behind you. Sunlight behind you.
Oh, I am in a sunroom just in case.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta get those darkened curtains.
Yeah.
You gotta get those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it for today. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, Carol. I look forward to our next show.
Yeah, the Paula and Carol show. Thanks for watching. Have a good
All right, I'll talk to you later.
day.